I am going to introduce Stephanie Thompson, and then after Stephanie sings her song, then we're going to introduce Aimmee. And the reason why we're doing this is because they're actually doing a project together. And I'm actually going to let Stephanie, if she's okay with it, to explain the project. So it's a very empowering project for young women, and I'm so grateful that you guys are here to do this. And Stephanie has a wonderful, beautiful voice. So, okay.
Hello. So one day, Aimmee Kodachian, the author of Tears of Hope, which is her inspiring true life story, called me and told me that she received a message to write a song about peace in the world. Aimmee asked me to help her with that. She told me that the majority of the profit from the song must go out to help children in need around the world. Right away, we went to work. And 9 painful months later, Rise Above was born. And I just would like to add 2 things. You're going to hear children on the track. I had these beautiful children singing the song with me. And unfortunately, they were not able to make it today, but you're going to hear their lovely voices. And I want you to know this is the first time that I've ever performed this song live in public. So.
To a city where she used to play. It got to be an everyday thing, running from bombs as her ears would ring, from the sound of the crash as her home turned to ash. It shook her to the core, she could not ignore. Her spirit was a victim of war. Her world changed like it was never before. Rise above, like the spirit of a dove. We must help the human race. Tears of hope, the people cry. Make the world a better place. Rise above, like the spirit of a dove. We must look them in the eye. Heal their hearts, we all must try. For the lives we can't replace. With no chance for her soul to dance, she lost her voice to make her own choice. Her family she needed to save. She was told that she had to behave. She was a young bride, soon a baby inside. Her love for her child, it became her why. She held onto her baby with a mother's pride. It helped her to hold on for one more night. We must help the human race. Tears of hope, the people cry. Make the world a better place. Rise above, like the spirit of a dove. We must look them in the eye. Heal their hearts, we all must try. For the lives we can't replace. The war tried to take everything she had. She told herself, there's no time to be sad. I have important work to do, and this is her message for me and you. Set fire to your passion, treat it like the latest fashion, embracing others, helping lead them into light, and slowly see the change as you and to a higher height. Rise above like the spirit of a dove. We must help the human race. Tears of hope, the people cry. Make the world a better place. Rise above like the spirit of a dove. We must look them in the eye. Heal their hearts, we all must try. For the lives we can't replace. Now take the message of this little girl. Spread peace to your neighbor and you'll change your whole world. The message of love has to start at home. And then you can carry it wherever you roam. Let go of your prejudices, open your heart. Reaching out a hand is a place to start. Let's learn to lift each other for a brighter day. Set a lesson for the children. And let's start today. Rise above like the spirit of a dove. We must help the human race. Tears of hope, the people cry. Make the world a better place. Rise above like the spirit of a dove. We must look them in the eye. Heal their hearts, we all must try. For the lives we can't replace. Rise above like the spirit of a dove. We must look them in the eye. Heal their hearts, we all must try. For the lives we can't replace. Heal their hearts, we all must try. For the lives we can't replace.
I went last weekend. Hold on. I went last weekend actually to watch them film that, and she has girls in front dancing, and it's just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful song. And thank you, Stephanie. And it leads into my next speaker, which is Aimmee Kodachian. And Aimmee has had some real struggles in her life, and she's a very empowering woman and she's very inspiring because of everything that she's been through. And she's really come on the other side. And I'm going to have her come up and share her story. And also, why she's coming up, the song means a lot, to her, to Stephanie, to the girls. It also, there's a little thing in there. I don't know, there's a lot of you that know me. I had a company called Spirit Dove. So when she was saying, as far as the dove and the spirit of the dove, that kind of reminded me too of my company. Just kind of fits right in. So anyway, I would like to introduce Aimmee Kodachian. Thank you, Aimmee, for joining us today. And you've had such a hard beginning of a life, and I would like for you to briefly share that with others and how you overcame that breakdown to get to the breakthrough that you are today.
Well, first, thank you for having me. My life story started in 1975, the Lebanese Civil War. I was 12 years old. And I was having great conversation with my older brother. We were trying to travel to Egypt. And as a child, I was pretty happy we were traveling or leaving the country, and that's something nice to do. And I was having great conversation with my brother about my schooling because I have a dyslexia. And I was struggling at school. At 12 years old, I was still in 4th grade, and I'm supposed to go back to 3rd grade. Well, back then, nobody understood what dyslexia is. I was just called the lazy and didn't want to learn anything. So my brother encouraged me, and he was giving me hope that he's going to help me. I'm going to go to college. I had really hope to get a better life when we travel. So I was sitting with him, and he needed to get his tea from the kitchen. And I said, you know what? I will get your tea. I want to continue the conversation. I didn't want him to leave the room. And he stood up like he wanted to get up. He was 8 years older than me. And I said, no, 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 I'll get your tea. So I left the room, turned my back, and a second later, couple seconds later, a bomb flew through the window into the living room and took Robert. So I turned back and I saw Robert burning, and all I see his hand with love that he left me with. In that moment, right away, I understood that there is something you can control in life. And also because he was giving me love, and he was sharing with me, and he was uplifting my spirit, I was in my heart in that moment. And I stayed in my heart until today. So what helped me to overcome the obstacles that I was faced after that, that was only the beginning of a long, long challenges for 13 years living in the war, escaping death several times, becoming a homeless, and getting married at the age of 14 because my mother, she couldn't feed me, and having a baby. That's the baby, she included it in the song, Stephanie. I had a baby at 15. My husband left me at 17. Didn't have any education, didn't have any money, didn't have anything. But yet, I found a way with my faith in God. Every person have different faith, but I know that my life was saved for a reason. And today, it's time for me to pay it back. But the biggest lesson that I learned that day was when my father saw me shaking as a kid, and the bomb was still coming to the building, and they had to rush us out. He took me on the side, and he came down, and he put his hand on me, and he said, "Don't be scared. Sometimes life could be difficult. But look at my eyes," he said. And my father is very, very smart. They used to call him the walking computer. He have a lot of wisdom. And he said, "Aimmee, really focus on my eyes." I did. And he said, "Do you see the white color?" I said, "Yes." And he had the brown eyes. "And you see the brown?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "Do you see the black?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Sometimes we have to go through darkness to see the light." And that really, really empowered me and helped me to take deep breath and just try to absorb what he's teaching me. Those lessons from my brother and my father helped me to overcome so many obstacles after that. If you wanted to ask me what I learned from that, that's the couple of things that I learned. There's a lot of lessons from any of you go through life. There's always lesson from either the obstacles or challenges or whatever you're going through. There is some lesson that we have to go through to grow. That's what I believe.
Well, I like the message too of hope, and that's the title of your book as well. And I think that's what people need, and even today with the hard times that we've been going through, is the hope it's going to get better. And you have proven that. I mean, that's a very tragic, event that happened in your life, and yet you kept going, and you had some kind of hope I like the part where you were talking about your brother, whose name is Robert, and the same as my husband. How he held out his hand like that, and it was almost like a sign of hope, for you. And I just, we're grateful you are still here.
Thank you, thank you. I'm
Yeah.
grateful I'm here. I feel this is time for me to pay it forward. All the lessons that I learned throughout the obstacles that I went through after that. And I start realize how many lessons really I learned and what kept me going. And I had to take care of my 6 years old brother after that. They put me in the mountain with my brother. We had no food, no connection with my family. I lost the connection. I did not know if they're still alive or not. And all I'm seeing from the mountain, the bombs are dropping from one place to another. It was a hard time. But then I had to look at my little brother and I saw the fear in his eyes. And I had to stand up strong. And he became my why after that. So sometimes we have to stand up because you have a why. If you could remind yourself why you need to stand up, why you need to keep going. I'm not a hero that I kept going, but what happens is I always find a way to keep me going. It's like you can't walk, but then you're holding on something to help you go one step at a time. And those are the steps that it's time for me to share with people when I see kids are growing up, struggling, lost. People, they can't see the light when they're going through darkness. And I would, all I could do just be who I am. Try to not just teach people, just be the inspiring person that you could look at that light and say, you know what, if she make it, I could make it. And there is hope in the end, always. There is, behind every closed door, there is hope.
That's so true, and that's part of my segment too when I'm talking as far as if you can make it, I can make it kind of thing, and that is the mission and the vision of the Aspire conferences and what I hope to empower with women today is that if they can do it, we can do it, and I mean, that's a very tragic thing that you went through. And then also, you're dyslexic and a little, I mean, and you still made it. You wrote a book, and so I would like you to share with the audience, you know, people who are out there that the why, I like the why, who are trying to find out their why, or maybe they have found out their why, maybe they struggle with dyslexia or something else. What kind of hope message can you give to them today?
Well, this is what I really believe after I get where I am today. Of course, I came to this country with no money, no education, nobody wanted me here. And everybody was just, we'll buy you the ticket to go back to your country because you're not going to make it here. I had 10 years old daughter, basically homeless in this country, and nobody wants me here. But I went through it, and then when I became a businesswoman, and I start to realize that I have fourth grade education, dyslexia, very heavy dyslexia. I don't like to read at all. And I said, well, one thing is that we don't have to be perfect to be beautiful and powerful. All we have to do is be yourself. And when I put that first, and as I don't have to have education to write a book. And as a matter of fact, I never read a book in my life. Never. The first book I ever read, and it took me months to read it, it's my book. So I hired somebody and I sat down with her. Of course, I wrote it that way, obviously, but it is every word in the book. It's my words. And I was involved in everything. But really, you don't have to be beautiful to be powerful. All you have to be is yourself because you are so powerful, you know. And for me to stand up and say, okay, I'm a businesswoman now, I made it in this country, and so other people, I see them struggling, they don't believe in themselves, and they don't see there is hope for themselves. And I say to myself, well, this is where the book started. And I said, I need to show people, give them hope, and let them see that they can do it. If somebody have fourth grade education, could become a businesswoman, could stay in this country, which is beautiful country, they can do it too. And this is where Tears of Hope was born. That's the first things I did to overcome whatever obstacles I had. A second thing is I truly, truly believe giving is living. Giving is living. My brother died, but his spirit is still alive because he was giving me hope. So not necessarily we're living here in a human body, but your spirit and inside feels good. And that's why so many people, when they read my book, they say, how come you forgive this person? How come you forgive this person? How come you're like this? How come you're too nice? Well, because I understand that giving and forgiving, it's living. And that's how I lived all my life, and that's how I'm going to continue. That's my message to the world, and that's why I wanted to, Stephanie, me and her, we wrote this song to deliver the message. We want to donate the money back to help kids and children. They have low self-esteem, they don't have any hope. And also, those are going to become the mother of the future generation. And we all could leave legacy. You don't have to write a book to leave a legacy, but you could leave a legacy from your own gift, what you've been given to give out. So giving is living, and that gives you a lot of hope. That keeps me going every single day.
I like that. I like that giving is living. That's really, really good. And the speakers so far that we've had, that's pretty much their message too, and how they live is giving is living.
Absolutely, that's it was really inspiring, and I was hearing the messages, and it was like we all on the same level. We're talking the same thing. And each one of us inspires somebody else in different way. You are giving opportunity to so many of us to come here and share our stories and share our lessons with others. So each one of us are doing our best to really leave a legacy behind us.
Well, thank you, Aimmee. And if someone wanted to connect with you, or what do you offer right now? I know that you and Stephanie are working on this project, and that'll be finished when?
Probably end of March.
End of March.
The video
Okay.
should be finished, and also my book is out of the market right now because a publisher picked it up. So I'm
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Great, great.
Thank you. So I'm hoping this, I rewrote it because the first time I wrote it, I had no idea. So I wrote everything, not really everything. So, but it was a little bit just story, without really the lessons, because I was writing it with, I received the message, I need to write a book, and then just wrote it, whatever it was. Then I learned that I need to share my lessons. That's the most important. So I rewrote it with my lessons that I received from my father, from my brother, from my neighbor, from everyone, from my friends, whatever I received, I wrote it a story and then the lessons, which is, I think it's going to really empower a lot of people. And now I'm really proud of this book, and we're hoping that's going to go international and help many people in different ways.
And what's the name of the book?
Tears of Hope. Tears of Hope. And also I'm doing the Aimmee Kodachian show, not Kardashian.
Yeah, when I was doing the flyer, I spelled it that way.
Yeah, the Aimmee Kodachian show, it's about helping people around the world see the light through the darkness. So I'm going to bring experts and share my lessons on the show, and really reach out to many people, give them hope.
Right. Thank you so much, Aimmee.
Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you.
Thank you.